Hello, weary traveler. I'm not sure what strange magic must have brought you here, but you have stepped into a realm of my creation. A sprawling city filled with danger and glory, and most importantly, lots of gold. I call it Isla Numus. Who am I, you might ask? The name is Jajim, and I'm the patron deity of gambling. Long story short, this group of idiots, or as you may call them, heroes, made a bet with me that they had what it took to make a vast trove of gold, but left some of the key details blank, so I filled them in myself. I sent them to this pocket dimension, into the city I had created with brand new bodies they'd have to attune to. Can these fools pass my test, or will they be trapped here forever? So, experience my world of trials and tribulations, and join alongside this posse of pitiful people, or as I like to call them, the Criminals of Isla Numus.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Session Zero Heroes production of Criminals of Isla Numus. It seems kind of unfair to call it a production when, we're producing it, but at the same time, it's just actual play. This isn't scripted. But I guess an improv is also a production to some extent. So, anyways, with that being said, I am Skylar. I'm your game master for this series. To my right, we've got Dave, who is playing Maki, the Kenku Sorcerer. Next to him, we got Fatty Lumpkins, who is playing
a Kobold Echo Knight.
A Kobold Echo Knight named. That wasn't the part I was held up on. It's
named Keto.
Keto, thank you. What his real name, I don't know why I was even attempting, but it's long.
Ichthyo Glycerskin.
Yes, Keto. Which isn't even what it'd normally be. Theo would be the nickname for that, but that's for the character you became. But Keto was your original, name. Next to him, with only one name. Well, actually, that's not true either, but I digress. Quinn playing Lil Sauce. Next to him, we got Jackson, who's playing Dez. I don't know why. Did we always used to accidentally say Dex or something? I remember we always messed it up. Anyway, glad I didn't this time. And then finally, next to Jackson, we have Cameron, who is playing Rorick, the Goblin. Also, Dez is also a Kenku. And Lil Sauce is a Goblin. So, no, you're also a Kenku.
I'm a Kenku who learned language from my fallen brother McGregor.
But only for slurs. And all of us together make up what is known as Criminals of Isla Numus. When last we left things off, you guys had just paid a lot of money to bail Lil Sauce out of prison so that he could join your group as you guys lead up to his court case, which is now in 2.5 days at this point. You spent half the day getting him all the paperwork and everything processed for the bail. So you have 2.5 days left. Now, I had talked to you guys before about options and opportunities that you have to use this time that you have moving forward. So you can spend, I'm just going to run through the options with you guys. Obviously, it's not a limited list. You guys can pitch me other ideas. But just running through the ideas real quick, right? You have 2.5 days. You can spend half a day to spy on the defense. This is the defense attorney. This is them meeting with their client. You can spend a full day.
Wait. We're the defense.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Spying on the prosecution. So all of this was
very confused for a second.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. All of this was very a lot of details that Skylar had to learn about the entire. Every DM recognizes this concept that your players want to do something and then you have to overcomplicatedly research the crap out of it. Just and yes, I'm bringing it back into play. I don't want to hear about it until we're done with this court case, at least. Yes, I did a lot of research on Renaissance era banking after you guys asked if banks were insured. A lot of research to find out whether or not they were insured. So anyway, back to now. Okay, so 1 day.
So I don't think on the record you've ever said if they were.
Did banks have insurance?
Technically, no.
Yes.
You were hoping it
No, we
was.
wanted it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you wanted it to be.
Oh, we wanted to commit insurance
We're gonna
fraud.
buy a bank, then rob ourselves.
Yeah, you were gonna
rob the
bank fraud
insurance
yourselves.
money,
Insurance
take that,
fraud.
and take off.
Yeah,
I was thinking we rob a bank and then the people who own the bank were just kind of like suffering.
they're desolate because of you. Yeah, that's the reality of the situation. I think like official banks probably would be. If the official banks exist, then yes, I think they'd probably.
I mean, if it was a bank of a kingdom, you know.
See, and this is why I don't want to get in it. We'll save this discussion for later because I'll go into it. I'll go into it.
You said you didn't want to kill.
I know,
I
I
the court
know.
case, and now we're here.
So back to the court trial. You have 2.5 days. Half day you could spend spying on the prosecution. You can find out what their plan is, what they're going to do for the court case, right? You can spend a day tampering with the evidence. Now, here's the problem is you guys might have an idea of some of the evidence, but you don't know where it's at, etc. So there's a good chance that spying on the prosecution is going to be key to then lead into tampering with the evidence, right? Another option, tampering with third parties. I can't get too far into what that means because, again, this is something that will come out of either spying on people or finding out more details about the court system in this world. But there are potentially third parties involved. You might be able to throw them off in some way. You can spend a day intimidating witnesses. You guys met all the witnesses. But it would take you an entire day to try to like figure out where they are, who they are, what they do, and then be able to actually do something to cause problems for them or convince them in some way to take your side. Who knows? Sorry, that's witnesses. Same thing goes for the jury. When I say take their side, that's what I meant. Jury members, you can do stuff with them. Those are kind of like the primary things I had thought of. Like I said, not a limited list. You guys can do other things to kind of deal with this. Procuring fake witnesses and evidence. We out of game are fairly aware that McGregor, aka Lil Sauce, is actually pretty involved in the crimes that he's being accused of. So in game, you're working to kind of find ways to prove that he wasn't, which technically would be lying. So that's why I say procuring fake witnesses.
Allegedly.
Yeah, or throwing the word allegedly around a lot. But whatever the case, I want to shut up because I want to hear what you guys are planning next.
And Little Sauce is with us. Like he's
Yes,
no longer in the jail.
Right
Correct.
at this moment.
You guys are, I'm going to say you guys are right outside the courthouse with Lil Sauce no longer with shackles on his wrist.
What are the rules if the prosecution fails to show up?
If the prosecution fails to show up, then the court trial will be pushed until a new, like you mean the attorney or the client?
Like,
The client dead?
If the client were dead,
no, I mean, it would just be the prosecutor. It'd be the state, basically.
not in this situation, no.
Lord Pendleton's estate?
Right, because well, to some extent, the state, you've been arrested because you publicly had evidence against you, but then they have the actual, like, party of, I believe Mrs. Pendleton was there. And maybe she's just a witness, but whatever the case, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it would be the
Sort
state.
of Mrs. Peloton or not to show
Well, she's
up.
just a witness then, yeah. If the prosecution attorney were not to show up, they would just prolong your period of leading up to a new trial where they would bring in a new prosecution.
What if the jury was to not show
The
up?
whole jury?
The whole jury. They'd probably just pick more jury.
The courthouse, you are right outside the doors of the courthouse.
All right, so who was the slicer working with?
Who was the slicer
Yeah,
working
yeah,
with?
yeah, I
You
can't remember.
guys. I mean,
No, who was the gang he was a part of? I can't remember.
oh, he did mention being involved with the Thieves Guild.
The Thieves Guild. So what if we were to do some work for the Thieves Guild, and in return, the Thieves Guild does some work for us?
I don't know if the Thieves Guild would be huge fans of us either, because didn't we kill their slicer?
Yeah, I mean, I feel
So
like they
we
gotta
are
respect
really
us at
kind
that
of
point.
multiple enemies.
I feel like they gotta respect us at that point. We could pay them some money. How much money we all got?
We just spent it all.
What do you think the Thieves Guild would do for us?
I have 0.
I sift 614 gold pieces, give them some money, and do something for them. In return, they do something for us.
So they don't have an evidence list.
But you could spy on the prosecution to find out what evidence they have.
What did they charge you with?
Pretty much everything under the sun.
On what accounts?
All of them.
No, like, what proof did they have you did it all?
Because they can't just arrest you just to arrest
I believe it was just witnesses, wasn't it? Witness testimony.
I mean, they literally found the carriage with the horses stolen from the Pendleton estate parked behind your house.
oh yeah, it was parked behind your house.
And then from there, they were able to get a warrant to enter your house where they found the jars and the books and other kind of personal items from the Pendleton estate.
Wow. Okay, so what I'm hearing is they arrested you on evidence they obtained while we were in a different part of town for 3 days straight.
Saving children.
Who's to say it wasn't planted?
It was planted by Big Sauce.
Okay, here's the next question. Do they have a witness? Was there anyone alive at any of the scene of crimes? There was the lady.
She didn't see anything.
Did she see anyone? Did anyone see the lady? I don't think she saw anyone.
She heard you.
Me?
Yeah, I think it was you or someone.
Des holds up a sign that says, "We tricked her into believing that we were her husband."
Oh, she
I
was
scribbled that down
crazy.
really fast.
We did that?
Yeah, we did. It was Maki.
Maki?
He mimicked the guy's voice, and
You mimicked his voice?
we tricked his wife.
Yeah. Is that all you did?
What are you implying?
I
Taking a
I
few
remember
things.
you went upstairs. Well, yeah, I think you were just in like a bedroom or something.
Yeah, I got. Oh no, my cool hat is gone. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have left that at the house.
Where'd you get the cool hat?
It was one of those riding hats.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, we got more to worry about than hats in here right now. I'm sorry.
Well, did she see you?
I may have caused a minor illusion.
So what'd you look like?
Pendleton.
Wait, hold on. But he was dead outside.
He was dead in the alley.
He was dead in the alley.
Yes.
So he couldn't have gotten to his house that night. Meaning, she saw not her husband, but the guilty party. Little Sauce doesn't look anything like her husband. That means if we could find someone that looks like her husband, we could say that person framed Little Sauce. Or, even easier, you can look like him, right? You did it once. Who's to say you don't cast this spell, pretend to be him again in the court? We surprise witness you, right? And then we get you arrested, but then when you're in prison, you undo your disguise, and then we sneak you out, and now they're on the loose looking for a man that looks like not you.
So you're saying this?
Can I? Sorry, I don't mean to. Go in the courthouse, get the state registry, and look up and see if he's got any like the yellow pages of the day or whatever.
Oh,
And
like
see
a
if he-
brother or something?
and see if he's got a brother
That's a good idea. Yeah, we could see if he's got a brother.
or uncle or cousin, the closest of kin.
So
to
you're
him.
saying we get his brother arrested or someone?
Or maybe a
No,
manly
we just
sister.
we just under.
What if we pretend he's his brother?
Yeah, but we got to see if he has one first.
Listen, you guys could probably also just eavesdrop on the prosecuting party, and we would probably find that out. Des writes on a Post-it note.
Right. Passes it around
I'm
to
sorry,
each
I'm
person.
keeping the continuity
Yeah,
here.
no, that's good. Just to clarify real quick, so that you guys are aware, because I like that you have multiple ideas going. You can split up the group to do different ones of those options that I just mentioned to you guys. The chances of success go up and down depending on how many people are involved with it. So the more people you have involved, the more likely it is to succeed because you work together. But that doesn't mean that by splitting up, you can't still do multiples of those things. So like something that's going to take a whole day, you could have somebody doing that while the rest of you do something that takes a whole day separately. And then that's only one day still.
Yeah, let's just go spy on the easiest way.
That seems like an obvious starting point.
Yeah.
So who all would like to go spy on the prosecution? Are we splitting up the group or does everybody want to go do it?
I think Des is on board with spying.
Okay. Anybody else? Who else wants to spy?
Sure. Well, let's not break up the party this
should,
soon.
I absolutely should not be caught doing that.
That's a pretty fair point.
I will do research on local family.
Maybe you should. Oh, yeah. Look up local family.
I like that. I say that's a good half day research. Yeah. Okay. Like that's exactly what I was talking about. Like I don't know. There's other ways that I can't think of that you guys might think of. So I like that.
You also should go to your house, because you know your house better than us, and find out what they all took into evidence.
take an inventory of your house and anything that is
wait.
out
Take
of
an
place.
inventory
It's like
of
a
what
backwards.
wasn't.
It's a backwards inventory because he's taking inventory of what's gone.
If I knew what was gone, then if I didn't do it, I wouldn't know what was there to begin with.
What I'm saying is we can prepare for everything they bring up as evidence, and then we can just keep pointing it towards his brother or whoever we're gonna be our scapegoat. Because remember, for the last 3 days, we were saving children in a different town across the river.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay.
I'd just say I like the option that doesn't have me going to jail. So,
I could be it. I got a new disguise self spell and that level up.
well, there you go.
I'll be the scapegoat. I'm skinny. I could just slide through the bars. Probably not. But
All right. So what I have right now is Cameron and Jackson want to go spy. Did one of you?
I will accompany them
You'll accompany them
as Keto.
Maki would like to go to perhaps a bookstore or a local community college
Okay.
and steal someone's law book so that he has a bunch of words he can throw out.
Some big fancy. Okay, I like that.
And then he's going to instruct a college student to read them all aloud to him.
I actually get a big kick out of this idea.
Maybe he's gonna go. What do you call it? Audit a law class.
So he gets to sit in for free. Hey, that's a perfect thing to take up a half a day as well. I love that. That's great. All right, so Maki goes off to fake audit his way through a law class so that he can gain some knowledge, but also more importantly, some fancy words said by some old professor somewhere who knows what he's talking about, so that he can sound. And I'm going to let you do the research on legal terminologies.
Yeah.
Actually, I can send you what I have as far as like all the objections that you can make and what for. I have that, so I can help you there. Okay, and then Lil Sauce is going to do some research at like the county office. He's going to go back to where there's just like a mess of like papers still being
it's the
cleaned
same
up.
place?
Of course, it's the city hall.
Oh no.
I want to see also back at the house, see what I can find that might, maybe someone left something behind that they shouldn't have.
Absolutely. Or at the very least, get information on maybe what might have been taken. Fantastic. Okay. And then the rest of you guys are going to be spending the half day to spy on the prosecution. So the way this works is there are going to be 2 different checks that I'm going to have you make to determine how much you're going to gain or information potentially. So because there's 3 of you, I'm going to let whichever one of you wants to make the stealth check do so, and you will get a +2 for the other individuals that are helping you, and that's outside of obviously whatever bonuses you already get. So who would like to make the stealth check between the 3 of you?
Who's got the higher dex? I've got a.
My stealth's 10.
Oh, okay. I have a
+10?
plus.
What?
I was about to say I have a +7 to stealth.
Holy cow, guys.
Got symbols taped to my feet.
Compared to everybody else. All right, well, Cameron, would you like to roll a stealth check?
Yeah, I like how we're like trying to figure out who's the stealthy one, and me and Des are like, we're both really quiet, and then Keto's like, I'm quiet as he comes stomping into the.
He's like the symbol monkey.
All right, so Cameron, you're going to be adding a total of +12 apparently to this. So I mean, unless you roll an absolute 1.
That was a cock die between a 1 and a 19.
Okay, we'll re-roll that, I
It
guess.
leaned pretty heavy on
was
the
cocked.
19.
15.
Total?
Oh, wait. I had 12, 17.
An impressive success. All right, so you guys are able to sneak into, oh shoot, so I don't know, does anybody remember what name I gave the lawyer guy? Okay, that's fine. Eggnubs.
That's good.
His name is Eggnubs. Good God, I gotta write that down.
You know somebody's listening to this right now. His name was Gregory. What the heck? Or something like that.
You guys break into Eggnubs.
Somebody named their child Egg.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
He was a white guy that came out bald, and his parents were like, haha, egg.
Egg. I love that. But he's not like an older guy. Like he's just naturally.
And he wasn't the violent type, so he takes out his anger because of his name and frustration on putting people in prison for life.
Hey, you know what? That's it's healthier, you know?
I guess. So anyway, you guys break into Eggnelm's law office or law firm, and you guys successfully managed to sneak. I think you probably like climbed the outer walls up to the window where he practices his law, and you can listen in and you hear him talking to one of his assistants about the current case. The question is how much you guys are going to be able to hear. So with your success, you got an impressive success with the 17. You get a +3 to your investigation check. Again, whichever one of you would like to be the one to make that investigation check, it is up to you, but you will get a +3 on top of your already existing bonuses.
That would put me at a +7 for investigation.
It's higher than me.
I have cymbals strapped to my feet and cotton balls in my ears.
Are we adding ours all together for his roll or just his by itself?
Well, what you guys achieved was giving him an extra bonus. So he's rolling and getting +3.
13.
13. Okay, you learn 3 elements that the prosecutor is planning on using against you. As you hear the prosecution discussing with his assistant, he says, all right. We've got a few different directions that I want to go with. First of all, we're going to bring in the horses. We're going to call the horses to the witness stand. And I'm sure their testimony is going to be brilliant for that. So make sure you guys have them well fed, ready to go for the trial. We've got, I think, 4 different horses. So make sure they're all taken care of. Let's see. The second thing that we want to use in this case is obviously the carriage as evidence. I think is a pretty big one. That's a pretty big one that we're going to be able to slam him on. I've got a spot. A friend of mine runs Steamway Carriages Inc. over at their headquarters. They said they'd make a space for the carriage, keep it safe there. So that shouldn't be any kind of a problem. Let's see what else is on the docket for getting ready for this. Do you have everybody, do we have record that everybody's still in the morgue and their bodies are preserved? And the assistant nods and confirms, and he goes, perfect. That's going to be important as well. And that's what you guys hear before he dismisses the assistant and starts just kind of scribbling and writing. And
What was that last thing?
he asked if all the bodies were preserved at the morgue.
Got it.
So if we knew a couple magicians, they could tamper with the climate controls in the morgue and speed the decomposition process. Or just behead them. Wouldn't need to be a chemistry, could just slice off the head, then they got nothing to identify.
If you slice off the head, you can't talk to them anymore.
They're dead?
They're dead.
Is that how Speak with Dead
I don't
works?
think that spell works anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that existed.
That clerics and wizards can cast. I think they need to have their heads still attached. Or at least the head, if we just take the heads and just ditch them in some river or something. Or feed them to a dog.
Feed them to the horses.
Great idea, random person who's standing right next to us.
It's some homeless dude who's just like, what if you feed him to the horse?
I'll put that right in my notebook. Thank you.
Got it.
They locked me up for 20 back in 22.
Wait, what'd you do?
I murdered, killed.
But you're innocent, right?
I didn't do it.
Yeah, see?
I never said I would.
And neither did I, client.
Go get him, brother.
Go in. Respect. Hey, would you be willing, for real cheap, be able to take a fall for our guy and go back in for like another 50 years or something?
50 years.
I mean, it's your second home. How good of life is out here? I mean, you're homeless. They give you 3 square meals a day.
Can he roll like a persuasion on this guy?
No, this guy's not going to take a fall for you. This guy is your creation.
Why not? That's a 26.
This guy,
It's a 26. He can at least help him.
he said, okay, here's what I'll say. This random homeless guy's like, I'm not going to go down for you, but what do you want? What do you want? I could be a witness. You want me to say something?
Sure, I didn't even know that was an option.
Well, it technically is an option. It's going to take you a day to coach this guy. I'm just going to say
just
that.
follow us.
What? No, I got things to do. I got cans to collect.
I got 20 gold with your name on it.
Okay. All right. It's more than I get in cans in a year.
By the way, what's your
It's
name?
more than I get in cans in 10 years.
What's your name?
Rumplediltskin.
Nice. I love that name. Rumplediltskin.
I like this guy.
Did you already pay him the 20 gold? Like, I mean, I guess, are you taking it off your
Sure,
character
I don't
sheet?
care.
Okay.
It's a family name.
Whatever keeps this guy happy.
All
you
right,
know?
all right. You've got Rumpelstiltskin. Again, it's going to, if you want him to actually play a part in this, it's going to take you a day to train this guy and give him a rundown on what you want him to do.
Oh, he's got 2 days or 2.5 days with us, so.
It doesn't, I mean, you can just put one
He said we're
person on
training
this
him.
job.
He's 100% taking the fall for this thing. I'm putting him on the stand, full on blaming him for everything.
We just disguise him as the guy's brother.
I'm not even gonna bother disguising him. This trying to be like this man.
They're going to use the horses as witnesses.
How is it? So you just make him talk?
Speak with animals. Speak with animals is a very common spell you get at like level 1.
This is
Did
dumb.
we see horses? Or are these the horses that we...
Or did horses see you?
Which ones did we kill?
We burn the stables. We burn the wagon yard.
Yeah, I'm taking
What else are we
arson.
burning? All right,
Do
say
we have
one
to,
more
like,
thing.
burn the
We're gonna
house? Can we,
burn-
like, speak with stone walls, too? Like, come on. It's cheating.
I knew I should have been a druid.
Has anybody got any
I
spells
can just
like
go
that you can,
bribe
like,
him with hay or something.
Who else could speak with animals? Rangers could speak with animals.
So, end of the day, Maki, you definitely get a whole bunch of fun terminologies. Again, I'm going to let you kind of find out or decide what that...
I would say his goal would have been, yes, to listen in on the class, but to steal a textbook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can... Oh, dude, I feel like one of the students is like, man, I freaking hate this class, and just throws his book away. And then you just pull it out of the trash and you've got a law book. And the dude's like, my father's Duke Archibald Reginald Montgomery Cavendish. And let's just say I'm too good for this. And he throws his law book away and walks out. And as he does, he says, who wants to party at my dad's house? And disappears off the distance with a bunch of other party jocks.
All right, a party.
And Maki spends another half day attending a college party. No. But yeah, you get a law book, and of course you had the law class as well. Lil Sauce, you are able to find out that Pendleton had no other family. In fact, if you remember back when you guys were at his house robbing it, you'll remember that it was, aside from his wife, which he had pictures of he and his wife like dramatically riding horses, that was the only kind of imagery throughout the entire house, was either just horses or him and his wife and horses. And when you check the records, like, it's not that his family's dead. He just doesn't really have like a whole lot of branches to his family. It's a pretty just like straight down tree, to the point where you almost wonder if like there's some, what's the word? Incest going on almost. Who knows?
I just threw that out there being a smart aleck guy, and that's what you're actually looking
That's actually what I was going for, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's gross. But anyways.
We do not condone this here at Coin.
Right. Just to clarify.
It's for story purposes.
Or Session Zero Hero as a whole, in case that's been mentioned. Actually, it has been mentioned in one of our other series.
Incest?
It was in Benders and Brews.
Ah.
There was a joke about a brother-sister thing, but it was just a joke. We do not condone incest. Anyway, let's move on. Anyway, that's what you find out there. Aside from that, things that you notice have been removed or kind of cross-referencing some of the things that they mentioned as far as the charges go, okay? We have the 5 counts of felony murder, which would include 3 guards, Lord Pendleton, and the guy that was on the carriage. Because I think you can go collect, like, you might not be able to get the evidence and the witnesses like Rorick tried to do, but I think you could get kind of a breakdown of the charges, right? Those are the 5 murders.
Didn't we murder the gangster dude?
Yeah, so the reason why they were kind of iffy on that one was because he was a known criminal, and they assumed that he died during the fight, and the state's not going to press charges on the death of a known criminal doing criminal activity. It just seems backwards.
Oh, so then Lord Pendleton should also not be one of the charges. Got him.
Now, see, the thing is, though, is he's wealthy.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, that's
He
the
was
problem
dealing
there.
with the criminal, which is criminal activity. So what you just stated.
But they don't know that. They don't know. As far as they're aware, he was jumped in the alley. Anyway, 1 count of first-degree armed robbery, which was the actual assault and theft in the alleyway that led to the murder. So, as in, you pulled weapons on Pendleton and his men in an attempt to rob them. 1 count of first-degree theft. This is where it comes in the items. Now, I say first-degree theft because it's supposed to be up to a certain value of money, of things stolen, as opposed to each individual thing stolen, which is interesting because in copyright law, it's like per infraction. But in this case, I believe, as I understand, you stole things from his personal estate, adding up to the value of first-degree theft.
Well, I'm on the stand, that wasn't me. That was him.
Right.
Pointing these guys.
Yeah, exactly. Jars of horse semen, a number of them. Horses, I believe, 2. A cart, which you attached the horses to when you guys made your escape. And then various personal items from the estate, including hats, jewelry, books, and I believe food items out of his fridge. And then just to top off that fact, because I scoured every criminal charge that existed, and I'm like, what else can I slam him with? Was 1 count of trespassing, which I think is just a misdemeanor. But obviously, you would have had to trespass on the estate in order to steal things.
Our goal is to get him down to just the trespassing
If you
charge.
can get him down just to the trespassing charge, you'll be like, boom, community service.
Yes.
And you'll be like, I plead the 28.
I can't do it.
I won't do it. Just give me the 28. Anyway, so you guys have completed your first half day, which puts you at 2 days until the trial. What would you like to do?
Are we all sitting in the house?
Yeah, I think you're all at Lil Sauce's house at this point, which is a bit empty, and the little bit that's there is thrown about.
So what's missing?
Well,
Do you want me to just restate it all? Okay, jars of horse semen, horses, cart, various personal items from the estate, including hats, jewelry, books, food items, and I believe there might have been some paintings as well.
Yes, I did take some paintings.
And a clipboard.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't
Well, yeah, the
think they
clipboard was
glossed on the.
the
That's going to be the nail in
They're
the
like,
coffin.
oh man, it was going to be 1 count of first-degree theft, but we'll make it 1.5 because he took a clipboard. That would have put it over the max limit. That's
It
what
would
we
be funny if we were in the courtroom and they're listening to everything that was robbed, and then they finished and went, "That's all," and then Keto goes, "And a clipboard."
Don't forget the clipboard.
And they're like, boom, guilty, and also arrest those guys. Okay, all right, there you go. That's the scene.
well, he has no family whatsoever. Wait, who's this guy?
Oh, this is Rumpelstiltskin.
I
didn't say
really? I didn't say that.
Oh, he's going to be a witness, and he said he's willing to say anything on the stand for us.
That is true.
Dez passes Rumple a note that says, if you plead guilty, you get 3 square meals a day and free housing.
I said that already.
I understand. I was there for 22 years, and I'm not doing it again because there's other stuff that you get in there that you don't want. So,
Dez passes him a note again, and the note just says, you want it.
not from anyone in there.
Oh,
I
interesting.
want to be out in the real world to have the freedom to find who I want it from.
How's that work out for you?
I'm getting it. I got time. I'm only 63.
This is completely random, but Rumpelstiltskin's charged with murder. Well, found guilty of murder.
That was a while ago.
So completely irrelevant.
So I heard you did it. He smiles. He's a big toothy smile.
Oh, he's innocent, just like you were.
Oh yeah, innocent. He's winking at you. Yeah. I don't care either way. They didn't offer me nobody from the prosecution's talked to me, so I don't care.
I'll give you 100 gold if you murder somebody.
I hadn't even done. Wait, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I am here for you to tell me what to say for 20 gold, and then I go say it, and then I take my 20 gold and I spend it on the things I want.
Yep.
That I do not have to share with you guys.
That's fine. I don't care.
You want 100 gold?
Not to kill somebody. I don't do that no more.
I thought you didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't do that no more from the day I was born.
I see you winking at
when
me.
my mom
Got
died.
Got
And then my dad said that was my fault. So I don't do it no more. That's what I meant. Wink, wink.
Okay.
Got it. So, what's there to eat around here?
Nothing. They took all my food.
Oh, man, you guys are worse than the streets. Too bad you guys... Wait, you said you did pay him already?
I did pay you early.
I'm going to go out and get something to eat. I'll
Go
see you guys
for it.
later.
I don't care. Just show back up here tomorrow morning.
You got it, boss. And he winks at you.
For evidence, they've got horses as witnesses, a carriage as evidence, and they're going to use the bodies as evidence, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do a speak with the dead spell on them.
Can I roll like Arcana to know if Dez would understand the like fine print of speak with dead as a spell?
Sure, yeah. Roll that Arcana check.
Let's see what my Arcana is. +1.
Hey.
15. It was
15.
almost a nat 20.
Yeah, is there anything in particular that you want to know about it, or you just kind of want the general... I mean, I guess I can just give you the general gist of it. So
I would want to know specifically
yes.
if the head was severed from the body, would the spell still work?
Yes.
Okay.
What if the head's not there?
Then no.
It does need the lips.
It needs a mouth.
What about a tongue? Tongue else.
Technically, it simply says the corpse must still have a mouth.
So it's just going,
Bird, tell me what I know about the murder.
There, I said all that with my tongue held in one position.
The answers to questions with Speak the Dead are typically cryptic, though. That's in the fine print, isn't it?
It says answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. Gotcha. And the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy, which probably doesn't help you guys, but it definitely helps the prosecution.
we're not the ones asking the question.
They just show him our picture and the corpses go grrr.
So, did he do it? Yeah. Was that a yes? Yeah. So, there you go.
Okay.
Did you get your book, lawyer boy?
Oh, I sure did. You know, I've been thinking that we need to holistically negotiate parallel strategic theme areas as we prepare for our trial.
Wait a minute. This is business law.
Ah, dang it.
Or that would explain my urge to competently transform leading edge markets.
It'll work.
The jury doesn't understand it. They'll just think it's impressive.
All I'm saying is we need to rapidly leverage our existing resources.
And the assets. What about the assets?
So whose lips are we cutting off? And whose houses are we burning down?
I love my lips, but I'm
I'm going to turn this discussion into whatever you guys are going to do.
Oh, this
the
is
next...
another day, correct?
Well, it's about to be. So, yeah, just make this discussion what you're going to do the next day to kind of
So we
keep
still
things
have 2
moving.
days.
Yes.
Okay, so I would just like to go to the next day because I'd like to ask Jarjan a question.
Oh, okay. Sure. All right. You pull out the Rocky Talkie and you give it,
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
and you shake it and nothing happens. Then you go, oh, yeah, that's right. And you mark the weird symbol that you have to do with your finger. No, I'm totally kidding. You just rub the walkie-talkie. Well, hello there. Oh, it was you again, Lil Sauce. What can I do for you?
Yeah, so as you know, I'm in a little bit of a predicament. I didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't do it.
Yeah,
You can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes.
yeah, for sure. So what is the one thing that I should do first to clear my name? Like, who should we go after? Should we go cut the heads off the lips or the heads off? Should I burn down the horse stable, or should we? What is the one thing we should do first?
Is that all the options? Just those two?
No, if you come up with something better,
What's the
what's
one
the
thing?
Okay, so hey,
I
Jarjan,
thought these can only be yes or no questions.
That's true.
is it yes or no questions?
Yes. I'm so glad that your friend paid attention in
Why'd you
class.
say something, Keto? I'm gonna whop him on the head with a giant pan.
Des will hand you a note that just says narc.
Is cutting out the tongues, burning down the horse stable.
That's still not multiple choices.
If anybody else can
Should
say
he leave the country?
No,
Yes or no?
No, that's not the question.
Not the question. Oh,
It's not the question. Just calm down.
We
over
get 3 questions, don't we?
No, just
there.
one.
Just one a day.
One a day.
I have many yes or no questions I am willing to ask right now.
That's a tempting offer. What can you rebuttal with, Lil Sauce?
Is cutting off the tongues and preventing the dead to speak the best course of direction?
I would say
Wait,
No. Let me answer.
I've got my own
That's
question.
the question.
No, that's his question.
Is strawberry chocolate chunk the best ice cream flavor? Yes
He rubbed
or
the
no?
rock as much as I'd love.
Are you a Costco guy?
Yeah. To answer,
Do you know the Rizzler?
to answer Lil Sauce's question, I would say yes. Clearing the murder charges is probably a great place to start.
Duh!
No, I'm
You're
asking if
telling
that's
me
gonna work.
You wasted.
No, I was asking if that's a course of action that would work, or
I thought you said, is that the
because
best?
I'm saying, is that the best course of action? Because he knew that there was other course. Should we do that, or should we do
That's what I'm
the
saying.
burning down the alley?
No, I'm saying yes. The heads is
Is
the
best
good place
course,
to start.
the best place to start.
Yes.
Because if I'm asking him that, because obviously I threw multiple things out on the table, the heads or burning down
Right.
the stable.
Right.
He's saying yes, the heads are better than the stable.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna go chop off some heads, let's have Little Sauce do it. Because I mean, if they catch one of us doing it, it might as well be the guy who they already think did it. So
Might as well keep our necks clean.
Or rumble.
oh wait, oh, it's not killing. They already dead.
I said I will show up in court for the 20 gold
I've
you
got
paid
20
me.
more gold if you go to the
I don't
morgue and
want
chop off some
I'm
heads
not doing
for us.
anything
They're
more,
dead already.
more illegal than falsely testifying in court because it's
Dang it.
really hard for them to prove it.
Dang it.
You act like I'm stupid. You don't understand. If I get arrested, the gold is gone and I don't get to do anything with any of it.
You haven't done anything with any money
But
recently
you want
anyways.
me to. Well, it's because it's hard to make money as a previously convicted felon. It's hard to get a job out here.
Yeah, we're offering you a lot of money. Just don't
To
get
do
caught.
illegal things. You know what I could do on any given day? I could go find a dude doing something illegal and say, hey, I'm convicted. I was convicted of murder 20 years ago. I spent 20 years in jail. Can I have a job with you? He'd say, yes. I'll give you tons of money to do more illegal stuff. It's so easy. I could do it right now because, I mean, you guys are offering it to me right now. But that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get out of that life, okay? I'm messed up, and I'm trying to do the right thing by falsely testifying in court. I get where the irony is coming from, okay? But again, it's a pretty...
Baby steps.
It's a baby step.
baby steps.
Wait, to more crime? No.
No, I mean backwards from crime.
This is what I need to kickstart all the good stuff
That's
I'm going to
right.
do.
Yeah, help out a guy who's totally innocent of his 5 murder charges. With
That's what you guys have told me.
Because it's true.
You know, I'm
He
trying.
definitely didn't kill all those 5 people.
Interesting wording. I know it well. I remember when I had an attorney helping me. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, and I hope different things come for this guy because I'm looking at him. And I'm looking in his eyes, and you know what I see? I see a guy that kind of murders sometimes.
What if I casted a fake zone of truth while Lil Sauce was on the stand?
How would you do a fake zone of truth?
I just say zone of truth.
Is there some sort of spell you can do to make me tell the truth? But there's
Yeah,
also
zone of truth.
okay, but I can somehow lie.
Well, when I've had zone of truth casted on me back when I was a cool dwarf, I remember the spell. And when the aura of magic hit me, I had my body felt strange, like it was fighting the magic. So I'm guessing I didn't beat it. So I just started spewing my guts about the 5th grade and hurling all over Miss Galansky's desk at the Little Dwarfs Academy. I got kicked out of that shop class. But that's how I found my calling. Pottery. But long story short, it's a magic test, I believe. And if you pass it, you can lie. But if you fail, you'll have to tell the truth. So
what would I have to roll, or how would I beat it?
beat it. If maybe we discovered some sort of magic item that gave you better resistance to magical charms or something, maybe you could be better empowered
We can
to
ask
beat it.
Jarjan tomorrow.
With that being said, what are you guys going to spend the day doing?
All right, who's chopping off heads? I suggested Little Sauce because if someone's found guilty, might as well be the guy on the stand.
So this would go under tampering with evidence.
Des holds up a slate where he has drawn a crude picture of a stables. And when he sees that everyone is looking at it, he quickly draws a fire around it.
When they said the horses, did they say where those horses were being held?
Yes, I have it written down. Hang on. I just closed it.
They said that was the
They
carriage.
said where
the
the
steamway
carriages were, but they didn't
carriages.
say where the horses were.
They didn't say. They just said, "Are you going to make sure that the horses are taken care of?"
Crud. Des revises his drawing to be steamway carriages.
Okay.
But we do know where the bodies.
Yes, they're at the morgue, the one by the courthouse. But we don't know where the horses are. And apparently these horses are going to go blabbing like my Aunt Ruth.
I know I can't do any magic, but do any of you wizards have the magic that would allow us to preemptively talk to the horses? Like, what if we were to threaten them?
That's a great idea. I love this
To be
idea.
fair, you don't need magic to talk to horses.
You just go up to the horse and start whispering its ear, and you're like,
I will kill you if you say anything.
I'm pretty sure horses know common, I think. I'm not a druid, though, but they understand stuff. Maybe if we walk up to them and just start, like, hitting bats against our hands while pointing at them, they might understand what we mean. Start pointing at their ankles, you know, the kneecaps.
Why don't you just go find a jar of glue?
Oh, yeah.
really intimidating. Just glue something together.
Didn't you guys remember what we were doing right before we did that job with the slicer?
We gambled?
I'm thinking Sauce needs a good alibi.
Was this before or after we went to the art studio?
It was before.
So maybe we could go back to where we went that day and, make him remember us being there a few more hours.
We were at a bar.
I think it was just a gambling bar,
We
wasn't
went
it?
to a gambling, then we went to a tavern. We tried all those special drinks, and then after those special drinks, then we were trying to buy some stuff, and one of us got in trouble with a guard or something. No, then we ran into an alleyway, and then we ran into the slicer, and then he told us to prove us our gutso, and then we got in trouble with guards, ran away, whatever. We met up with him. He told us to meet up with him. So technically, we didn't actually do anything that day until we met up with him. I think we just kind of sat around, twiddling our thumbs, and then met up with him. So technically, that giant window of time, we didn't do anything. So we could theoretically say we were anywhere. Because I don't think they have any evidence we were in that alleyway. I think the evidence is there was no cart and horses, and they were found at his house. So I think they linked that crime because the cart went to the house, because that's where the driver was, and the carriage and all that stuff was destroyed because we wrecked it and then killed the driver accidentally, all that stuff.
I don't think that anybody did that accidentally. I think we were on a murder hobo spree. Might as well be honest with ourselves here.
Well, I'm just saying, that's what happened. That's how they're linking all this together. And then the house was robbed, and then all that stuff was found in, this place. So,
But nobody was seen. The only evidence
person that was seen was Maki,
dressed as
Pendleton, who was dead in an alleyway.
and the only evidence they have is it was planted in Lil Sauce's house.
Correct.
Which,
no, there's more evidence. They speak with the dead and the horses.
At the moment,
And there was a lot of semen in that carriage.
which we could also point out, didn't Little Sauce pretty much give up his shop and house to come adventure with us?
He gave up his shop, not his house.
But yeah, we're in his house right
in
now.
his house.
So I heard two different directions for tampering with evidence. There's those that want to go and deal with the bodies, and those that want to go and deal with the wagon, it sounded like, because you know where that's at.
Well, so if we take out the horses and we take out the dead, then the only true witness left is his wife, who saw her husband. And so all we have to do is convince her that there's a doppelganger on the loose.
Maybe an actual doppelganger.
Oh, that sounds hard to find, but if we could do that, that would be in money. Maybe Rumpelstiltskin's a doppelganger.
Nah, I'm not a doppelganger. I'm just a dude.
Dang it. I thought we got really lucky for a second.
I'm a gnome.
Do you know any
I'm just a
doppelgangers?
gnome man.
You know any doppelgangers? You went to jail.
Let's see, doppelgangers, that's a monster, man.
Yeah, but they can be human.
Yeah, they can look like humans. Let me tell you, if you want to find really specific monsters, you know where you go?
Where?
You go to the monster sumo arenas.
Oh,
And you talk to them crazy monster sumo trainers. And they've got all kinds of crazy monsters, but I mean, they're usually pretty expensive.
oh, I bet a doppelganger is also going to be on the registry of criminals in the Thieves Guild. Maybe if we went to the Thieves Guild, we can find out if they have an inn with a doppelganger, and then we just pin the whole crime on them.
There actually is a changeling that's part of the Thieves Guild. She's a pretty big member of it. She's a pretty high up.
Oh, well, this is a high-up crime. Think about it.
She's really hard to talk to.
What, who said we need to talk to her? If we get a court order to have her as a witness, she can't avoid it, or else she's running from the crime.
He loses it when you say this. He's like,
You saying somebody from the Thieves Guild is running from crime because of a court-appointed requirement.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because if she runs from the crime, she looks even more guilty.
I don't think anyone's even going to know where Mirage is to give her the court-appointed.
Oh, Mirage, he gave a name.
Yeah, her name is Mirage.
He gave a
Everybody
name.
knows Mirage.
Where's she at?
At the Thieves Guild. I just know her by name, man. She's a prominent figure.
She doesn't know who we are. She doesn't know that we could definitely be people that hand out court-appointed papers.
Let me tell you something about the Thieves Guild, right? So in the Thieves Guild, there's 4 levels of thieves. You got just like the initiates, right? These are just like you guys, right? No offense.
What
like
level
if you
was
guys
the Slicer?
Oh yeah, I know the Slicer. Yeah, he was like a basic tier. Yeah, he was still technically a low-ranking member. And then you've got the adept tier members of the Thieves Guild. So Mirage is one of them. And then, oh man, then you've got the masters of the Thieves Guild. We're talking about the magistrate. We're talking about the Silver Song. We're talking about the architect. We're talking about the enchantress, right? These is people that you don't want to mess with. You don't want to run into them if they're doing Thieves Guild stuff, because like you're not even going to remember it if you're even alive.
So anyways, we need one of you guys to find a horse, the way those horses are, and get them taken care of. I mean, I could go look for horses, I guess.
okay. So, I mean, that's one of the options is that you can essentially
I'm gonna
tamper with the
wander
witnesses,
around, look for horses.
which is part of obviously the process. So, okay. So,
Well,
it's-
you might want to start at Lord Pendleton's estate. Maybe the stable hands there would know where they went.
Oh, that's a good idea. And they wouldn't know who I am. Oh, I'm a lawyer. That's right. I forgot. I'm a lawyer on his defense. That's totally right for me to be up there.
Well, you got to be careful there. I mean, you don't want to have lines drawn between you asking about the horses and then the horses suddenly something happened.
What if I disguised myself
Oh,
as
that could work.
as like one of the, maybe not the main attorneys, but maybe like an intern of theirs? I did see one of their interns yesterday when we were at the place. Oh, I saw the lady who was helping them with the file work. I could just disguise myself as her, and then I could just be like cleaning up loose ends, you know?
all right.
Yeah, that could work.
That could work. All right. So with that, I think we're going to lock in that Rorick is going to tamper with the evidence, which takes a day. You're going to go look for, find, and we'll see what you do with the horses. What about the rest of you guys? Like I said, we heard 2 other tampering with evidence options that were being discussed.
Des is taking care of the wagon.
Okay. Des is taking care of the wagon. And then there's also the bodies in the morgue. But there's other options too. If you guys want to go procure more fake witnesses or fake evidence of your own to try to pitch, or like David talked about with the alibi, like if you wanted to try to go set one of those up, you could try to do something with that. You could try to intimidate witnesses. You could try to tamper with the jury, which I know had been discussed previously with you guys. Because you have Ryan Equest, that I know that you guys were a little unsure if he was going to be a good jury person for you guys. I shouldn't give you so many options. What are you guys already leading towards?
How hard can it be to cut out a tongue? Keto will volunteer to go visit the morgue.
Okay.
Maki was also going to go to the morgue.
All right.
Should probably have more numbers there to watch each other's backs.
I think it's good. Lil Sauce, what are you going to do for your day?
Well, I was going to go to the morgue,
The more the merrier.
I guess. But who's going to go light the horse stable on fire?
Rorick is going to go track down the horses and then deal with them, whatever that means.
Right.
I can't wait to see how that turns out.
I can't either.
I've read lots of horse books, let me tell you. So those horses, they're going to be charmed by me, okay? I've got,
And I pat my pouch.
a lot of carrots in here, okay? Trust me, they weren't all in that bag, that big bag of goodies I had that are gone. Thanks a lot. Oh, I did have a question. If we're going to be going with the viewer framed approach, I don't remember, did we really hide stuff in this house, or was it just all sitting out in the open? Because if it was all just sitting out in the open, it just kind of looked like a lazy framing job, if you think about it.
No, it's hidden down in the basement.
That was just because the basement was cold.
Well, was that hidden or just in the fridge in the basement? Because there's a difference between hidden and just sitting in a fridge.
It was just in the basement.
Just in like a fridge.
Yeah. Or, well, it was just in the coldest area. It was like a cold cellar. The sauce storage.
So literally just opening the cellar door, you would just see it just sitting there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, I was just wondering if we hid it or something. But if it's out in the open, it just looked like a lazy framing job because it goes with the carriage just sitting out back, right?
Yeah, in retrospect, we really did a bad job at this. Not that we did it, Rumpelstiltskin. Not that we did it.
Hey, la 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 la, I don't hear nothing.
No, it helps that you know a lot about Mirage, since we're going to pin this whole crime on her.
I don't know a lot about Mirage.
You just spewed a lot of
I spewed a
information
lot about the Thieves
it.
Guild. I gave you the very brief overview of the Thieves Guild that I feel like most people could tell
That's
you.
whatever. Rumpelstiltskin,
When are you guys going to tell me what I got to say at the trial?
just eventually.
Just watch and learn.
Okay.
With everyone having chosen their plans for the next day, we will close out today's episode of Criminals of Isla Numus.
Thank you so much for listening to Criminals of Isla Numus, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast set in a homebrew world created by me, Skylar Gorset. If you've been enjoying our show so far, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever it is that you're streaming from, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else that podcasts can be streamed. Or just check us out on our website, sessionzeroheroes.com. Additionally, if you enjoy Coin, you might enjoy some of Session Zero Heroes' other shows, such as our Benders and Brews and Avatar Legends Actual Play, where we jump into the world of Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra using the Avatar Legends system created by Magpie Games. Or one of our various one-shots, which we are currently coming out with, where we use a variety of games and TTRPG systems to tell a variety of fun, exciting, emotional, and hilarious stories within our group. We have all sorts of other content that we highly recommend checking out within the SZH channel, and more to come in the future. To find out more about what we do at Session Zero Heroes, and to keep up with a lot of the other content we produce and be made aware of future projects, shows, and content, be sure to follow us on social media on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Discord. These are all great ways to get in contact with our team, as well as to keep up to date with everything that we're creating and working on. We'd love to see you there. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to stay curious, stay heroic, until we roll again.